We're moving into the second game of round 2, Andromeda again versus NEH. However,
we've had 4 criminals on stream today.
Amazing, right?
They're half the field
huge
right now.
Resurgence.
Yeah.
That being said, I will say Michael's Andromeda
36.
quite unusual
It is.
and unique compared to what we've seen before.
Ross is playing a hyper-aggressive NEH deck. He's gone down to 10 ice.
Yes.
Which is, I think, insane. I ran a similar NEH list at 13 ice, and I still felt like I don't have enough ice because I went down from 15 to 13. Now these people go down to 10. It's insane.
If you feel like you can get it quickly enough.
But like, there'll be some games where you're just like, oh my god, I've got 1 ice. Where does it go? I'll put it here so I don't get siphoned. Oh, I'm going to get keyholed instead? Okay.
Yep. Between Daily Business Show and Sensi Actors Union,
that's the thing.
That level of
the
filtering
Sensi, there's
will get
3
you there in
Sensis in this deck, so it's just like, yo, let's draw everything.
Yep.
3 Sensis, 1 Daily Business Show, and there's a card that's going to fetch all the pieces. 1 bad City Hall.
Oh, the City Hall.
So good. Spin a click, do everything.
So in that last matchup, the chat is discussing whether or not it might have been prudent on Michael's part to pick up the curtain wall perhaps and put that on R&D. At that point, can you afford, do you think, to turtle up and batten down the hatches? Get curtain wall there on R&D?
Maybe, but then you're not, when are you going to score then?
Yeah, that's a tough one. Scoring at that point.
But then Ross can just be like, run the curtain wall, you res it, then just hammer our HQ.
Yep. A tough position either way for Michael there. But hopefully his luck turns around with an interesting deck. We're getting a couple tastes of it here, seeing things like Snitch and Au revoir showing up on the bottom there. Definitely very cool archetype, one that I am a big fan of from back in the day. And perhaps
there are Evangel City Hall.
I don't know. I don't believe
so.
Okay, it could have been a Reflection or Earthrise.
Chat's already like, I saw Snitch Au revoir.
Yep. We're going into
Turning Wheel Au revoir.
Hyper
I really want to see how this deck can fire. And I want to see it fire because it takes setup. I want to see how it works against the most hyper-aggressive NEH deck.
That's right. And at this point, I think in the card pool, the Au revoir Snitch archetype has really come into its own between Reflection and Turning Wheel. You can get a huge amount of information and value out of these combination of cards and potentially leverage that into a criminal win.
This used to be, Au revoir used to be played out of CT. Just because of how quickly you could, get the SMCs to make it happen.
Yep.
But now out of Andy, it's going to be really fun to watch.
All right, so we've got an NEH install remotes, and HQ Ice seems prudent.
Yeah, drew one of his 10 ice.
There you go. That's the one you need, particularly with an account siphon and opening hand. We see Michael's got a couple of...
Astro. Oh, got so lucky.
A couple of interesting cards in hand, including Ninja Sherman, Deja Vu. And there we go. The Econ engine is online in terms of Underworld Contacts, Sports Hopper.
Sensi just fired. So good.
There you go. Sensi Actors Union, for those who might have missed, a really great card for filtering not only cards you draw, but cards currently in your hand.
I got the sweeps 1 turn too late.
Oh.
So much value out of Andy.
A little bit of a bummer, but I think he'll live between 2 pad campaigns and a good amount of ice.
That card draw is insane.
Well, that is NEH for you. Crazy card draw. Heading in to R&D. Nothing there. And that Sensi Actors Union
it's gone. It has to leave. The biggest thing is Ross had ice to use, but he just made remotes instead. Right. He just left R&D open.
Why not? And that's the play with NBN, is if you can sneak past the beginning of a chain of AstroScript pilot program, then you're golden. So he's going for a Beal score here.
It's hyper.
You got to get it out of hand.
Score.
I understand.
Because what this does now, Michael with that many low credits, how does he deal with Sansan? He's going to spend his whole turn?
Yeah.
Oh my god, and sweeps. He's going to draw sweeps.
Ugh,
just
brutal.
to recover the econ credit, sweeps. Maybe ice R&D, maybe not.
And at this point, Michael, low credits, drug dealer ticking away, somewhat countered by Underworld Contacts, but I don't know if it's enough to challenge
that's rough.
economically.
That's rough.
Yeah, and the sweeps week. Brutal. Extra credit from drug dealer. The draw on the corporation's turn.
Ice R&D. You have so much ice now. Just take one click. It does not. These guys are just getting lucky. He's like whiffing. It's insane.
At this point, though, if you're rushing and you want to focus all of your economic efforts on your remotes there and Sansan and whatnot, maybe that's the play.
I don't know. I feel so scared like going this hyper on. There's so many times he's like run a hit, run hit. Momba Temple's up.
The Momba Temple, a great include for any asset-oriented
DBS
deck.
up for free. Patty.
Huge
Pad,
amount of
neutral
value.
each other. Oh my
There you
god!
go.
And he's obviously not going to do anything. He's just going to score a Beal.
Yeah, that's
Oh
right.
my god!
And
This
it's
deck is
out
crazy.
the door.
To be
That's
fair,
NBN.
Michael's spent a few turns checking this R&D, and it's just not been working out.
Yeah, is that single access click every turn on R&D really worth it?
Yes.
I have to wonder.
But it is. Well, it doesn't get any cheaper. What are you going to, like...
That's true, but you're losing tempo in terms of setting up your rig, which is already quite a complex one to put together.
Yeah. Wow, blank.
Dang.
Ross is so happy. You see that smile on his face?
Yep.
Absurd. Absurd.
Crazy. Michael, really sad, particularly in his setup, looking at some
what's it called?
non-ideal cards.
Put the Turnpike.
Drawing of Turnpike.
Put the Turnpike.
A great R&D ice, very taxing.
Archangel's
And he
also
goes
fun.
for the Archangel. Also could be really
Also
relevant
icing HQ more.
in bouncing some key pieces.
That's nice. I like the HQ ice. We forced him to run HQ, but it's not really going to. If you had an agenda in hand, you would have scored it.
So he's got the turning wheel, he's got the snitch, all things he likes to see. Not that much money.
Res it, bounce the turning wheel.
Oh,
it's so nasty.
No. A brutal res on the Archangel. What do you bounce here? Do you
Use
even
two
consider
link.
bouncing the Sports Hopper to deny the link?
I think.
Yeah,
that makes sense. That's
it's a
good.
fairly expensive card, denies the Underworld contacts. Yep. Dang.
If he DVS's an agenda underneath it, it's so nasty.
Brutal.
I
So
love
how does Michael
Archangel.
answer this? His decoder is a Zoo Keymaster, which is just
So much
unbelievably
money.
taxing.
It's so expensive.
Between
I mean, like, he just needs more time to set up, but I don't think NEH has had like the most nut draw.
Yep.
And with him having no good accesses on R&D, usually you get at least 2 points here.
Yeah.
Like, you have something to show for your troubles.
At this point, also, I just don't know if the install of the reflection. I mean, it does give you the link, which is nice, but with the Res San, I don't know if any agendas are really going to be hanging out in HQ. There is the NEPD there we do see, but I just don't know if Michael can take that. Tough position.
I think you need to, since there's no live Astro, killing the Sansan might be really good. But I don't know if I can get the money to do it.
Yep. So with double Underworld contacts, starting to put it together, will he get there in time?
That DBS, probably not. DBS, Momba Temple, 2 pads ticking like Astro. He's like, how quick is that Astro grab?
Quick snap Astro off the top of the DBS.
Oh god, Luckbox Ross going at it.
And this is the power of NBN.
Yeah, I think this is pretty
full
much
display.
I don't know what Andy can do.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Michael feeling the pressure of that fast corp game. Really tough. In these scenarios as Criminal, if you had a more stable breaker suite, maybe you might think about hoping to land an account
nice
siphon.
to see this deck get online.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
A tough one. That early game dominated.
Still not over. If you can get like a really good R&D access,
but how do you
Wheel's not going to do it.
get through R&D? I mean, the Archangel is staring you in the face.
Some siphon.
Yeah, maybe a sort of tempo pressure siphon for some resing of ice, even if it doesn't land. Yeah, and there's a free wraparound.
The turning wheel still trigger, so good.
Yeah, cool card. Glad to see it in play. It might not actually land, but it is really nice. So he reveals the NAPD with the
That's
Astro Script token and a Res Sansan.
It's game over.
That is game on this next turn. Pad Campaign's providing the money to do so. Not much Michael can do to tax him out. Tough break for Andromeda with a really, really cool deck. So to clarify here, Michael pulling that NAPD was the result of the reflection revealing the card, but not actually accessing the NAPD. There he goes. Full turning wheel. Glad to see it fire.
He hit once.
Completely whiffing.
Wow. At least we can do an interview.
There we go.
This is both games, right? Yeah, it's over. Oh, God. I'm throwing my pen.
I play 3 breakers in my deck.
What a tough break for Michael on those
Michael
games.
is not pleased. Seems not pleased.
But solid play on the part of both players. Really interesting decks. We appreciate Michael's unique deck building choices, and sometimes consistency is king.